In this brief presentation, our intention is to share information on how we can stay tuned into our energetic systems by balancing each of our 7 chakras for sustained health and harmony. At Stay Tuned Energy Healing, we believe that all healing is self-healing. Another way of saying this is all love is self-love. Our goals for this presentation are to explain what our chakras are, how important they are to self-care, and how to develop good practices to keep our chakras balanced and harmonized for better long-term health. Let's first define what chakras are. Chakras are an ancient Indian spiritual concept. These 7 spinning balls of energy are located along our spine and run from our tailbone to the crown of our head. So what do they do? Each one of these spinning balls of energy are focused on a unique aspect of our being. For example, our throat chakra, located just behind our voice box, as you can guess, is focused on communication. And in this presentation, we'll talk more about each of the chakras' unique power and significance. And how do we care for them? Based on our traumas and our mental, physical, and emotional responses to these traumas, a chakra may become blocked and require some healing attention and healing intention in order to release these blockages. Our chakras also retain stuck energy just by living our day-to-day lives, so we'll cover specific techniques for doing chakra clearing and balancing, and you can incorporate these into your daily practices. So let's talk about each chakra's location, its name, its color, and its significance. The first chakra is the root chakra, associated with the color red and located in our pelvic floor near the tailbone. As you can imagine, the root chakra is associated with our connection to earth, trust, survival, a sense of belonging. All of these are really essential to the root chakra. The second chakra is the Sacral Chakra, which is orange in color and located just beneath your navel. It should come as no surprise that the Sacral Chakra is associated with our reproductive organs. So of course it's associated with sexuality, creativity, and pleasure in terms of both giving and receiving. The third chakra is the solar plexus chakra, which is bright yellow, and it's in your lower chest and upper abdomen area. You may have heard of the term belly brain. That's a great way of referring to the solar plexus chakra. It's our personal power and our sense of self. The fourth chakra is the heart chakra, which is bright green in color and represents our capacity for love, compassion, and healing. The fifth chakra, the throat chakra, it's bright blue in color. It's focused on self-expression and communication. If you feel open and free to speak your own truth, there's a great chance your throat chakra is healthy and harmonized. The sixth chakra, the third eye chakra, is indigo blue. Some call it twilight blue. Sometimes it looks like a deep purple. This is where wisdom, intuition, and deep awareness comes in. The seventh chakra, our crown chakra, is represented by light purple. Some also represent it with whitish purple or lavender. This is our connection to divine source energy and spirit, our sense of purpose, our knowingness, our spirituality. All these come into play with this chakra. This next chart provides a bit of a shorthand for all of the chakras. The root is about being. The sacral chakra is about feeling and our emotional state. The solar plexus is all about action. The heart is about love, of course. The throat, it's all about speaking our truth and communication. Third eye is about vision and seeing. And the crown is all about knowing. So far before this, we've been going from the root chakra up. Let's talk about the elemental nature of our chakras, going from the crown chakra on down. So the element that the crown chakra represents is thought. And you may say, well, wait a second, thought is not an element. But thoughts certainly hold our energy, time, and attention. And considering stress is the #1 factor in disease, they definitely have a measurable impact on our physical world, right? So hopefully I've convinced you that thought energy is indeed elemental, and these thought energies are focused in our crown chakra. Light is the element associated with our third eye chakra, which makes a lot of sense when we think about seeing. It's very difficult to see without light. And sound, of course, associated with the throat chakra, communication and speech. Our heart chakra is associated with the element of air, which may not seem like it makes sense at first impression. But when you think about green, you think of nature, being outside in the fresh air. It's a perfect way to heal your heart chakra. And when we experience the emotion of deep love and compassion, sometimes we can imagine our hearts and upper chest just filling and expanding with air, the air of love. Fire is associated with the solar plexus chakra, which makes sense. You say fire in your belly. When you feel a fire in your belly, you have this urge to act, and that's really your solar plexus speaking to you, filling you with a sense of personal power. And water is associated with the sacral chakra, which is not surprising when you think life is created in water. Babies gestate in amniotic fluid, which is mostly water. We're made up of 60% of water. In fact, babies are made up of even more percentage, higher percentage. So it makes sense for our sacral chakra to be connected to the water element. And our root chakra element is earth, keeping us grounded and connected to the energy of our planet, our home, the Mother Earth. And that's exactly how these line up. And if you look at the 7 chakras kind of in 3 main groupings, you see our lower chakras. Actually, our upper chakras are more connected to earth and sky, our spirit and sky, and the heavens, and our lower chakras are more connected to earth. When you think of earth elements like fire, water, and earth, and then our heart becomes the fulcrum between these 2 celestial power centers, and the more we can integrate these 2 major energies into ourselves, the more we achieve overall balance and health. So sometimes thinking of it in those 3 groupings can help imagine how we're connected to the heavens and to the earth, and how our heart is that fulcrum. So our emotional centers are great barometers to understand how we feel and where we might need some healing in terms of our individual chakras. And so when we think we're either, when we're in a neutral, balanced state, we have the perfect amount of energy in each one of our chakras. But if we're lacking energy on one side or having too much on the other, we'll exhibit that in emotional responses and types of behaviors. So that's why we put this chart together. So if we're experiencing indecision or we're not focused, it could very well be a sign that our crown chakra is lacking energy. On the other side, if we're feeling frustrated and manic depressive and up and down and feeling this unrealized power, we might have too much energy in our crown chakra. Either way, we have an opportunity for healing and balance. Same time, if we're feeling undisciplined or feeling meek and mild, it could be that our third eye chakra needs more energy. Or if we're feeling a lot of energy in this area, we may exhibit some arrogance, we might be manipulative, we might be condescending to others. Either way, there's an opportunity for healing and growth. If our throat chakra is out of balance and lacks energy, we might feel like we're being silenced. We might be inconsistent in what we say as well. On the flip side, if we have too much energy in our throat chakra, we may sort of talk a lot, interrupt people, act very self-righteous. And if our heart chakra is lacking energy, we may feel a little bit, we may fear letting go. We might feel, self-pity or feel unloved. And if we have excessive energy in our heart chakra, we may be really overly critical and possessive at the same time of the people that we really, really love and are closest to us. So that, again, is another sign of some opportunity for healing in the heart chakra. If you're out of balance in your solar plexus, you may feel a little self-conscious. You might feel insecure. Of course, that's if you're lacking energy in that chakra. If you have excessive energy in your solar plexus, you may be exhibiting workaholic behavior. You may be behaving as if you're superior to others or go through bouts of inferiority. If there's an opportunity for balance and healing in your sacral chakra, you may feel resentful or guilty about sex, in which case you're probably lacking energy in the sacral chakra. If you're feeling excessive energy here, you may exhibit some intimacy issues. You may also dehumanize or objectify others, especially those that you're intimate with. If there's opportunity for balance in your root chakra, you may either feel a lack of confidence, or you might fear scarcity. You may have a very low sex drive. And if you're feeling excessive energy in this area, you may be acting very selfish, and you may be exhibiting some egotistical and dominating behavior. Either way, opportunities for growth, all available to you. When your chakras are in balance, you're open to the divine. You're at peace, you're highly intuitive, and you're feeling that in your crown chakra. We call this the energy of the alchemist. If your third eye chakra is balanced, you're feeling very confident in the insights that are coming to you. You have no fear, you're very charismatic and confident. And we call this feeling being the master of oneself. When you're feeling eloquent, authentic, and confident in everything you say, your throat chakra is acting at optimal balance. It's totally in harmony, and you're the truth teller. You become the truth teller. If your heart chakra is feeling strong, resilient, and in balance, you're feeling bouts of unconditional love, you have total self-acceptance, and you have the energy for compassion. And self-love, after all, is self-healing, and that's represented by a very healthy heart chakra. If you're feeling joy, strength in who you are, very confident about your personal power, you're exhibiting a very strong solar plexus, you're able to act in your own integrity and authenticity. It's a beautiful place to be. If you're feeling creative and attuned to others' feelings and in communion with them, that's really healthy sacral chakra. And you're able to create with total compassion. If you're feeling grounded and you have tons of energy and you know you belong and you feel that deeply, your root chakra is humming along very nicely. It's in harmony and healthy. And you can live in the now. Living in the now is total bliss for all of us. So just take a look at what that looks like and try to cultivate that feeling across all your chakras for total health and harmony. So then the next question becomes, how do I get there? How do we balance each of these? Well, first and foremost, understand where you are now. So in the next slide, we'll share some questions you can ask to do that self-awareness. We'll also provide a meditation that incorporates walking in nature and breathing in colors of each chakra for some healthy harmony and balance. And then we also included some additional suggestions, although we can't cover all of these in our quick presentation today. But first, we wanted to ask, how do you check in with yourself? What can you do for good self-assessment and self-awareness? These are the questions you can ask yourself that are very pointed in nature to help you target the tender areas. So for the crown, how strong is your faith and connection to spirit? This doesn't necessarily mean a specific religious faith that you should have a connection to, because you may not. It could be the sun, the sky, the heavens. So how are you feeling about that connection to heavenly spirit? To understand how you're feeling in your third eye chakra, you may ask, how easy is it to focus and trust my own insights as they come to me? Where's my inner critic? Is it silent? If it is, chances are you've got a really strong, healthy third eye chakra. If you're feeling confident and empowered to speak your own truth, chances are your throat chakra. So gauge that. How empowered do you feel? How open and compassionate and loving do you feel for yourself right now? That's an indication of how your heart chakra is feeling. And how decisive do you feel about acting in your own best interest? If you feel empowered and decisive, your solar plexus is humming along just fine. And how free and authentic do you feel when you create in your creative expression? How free do you feel about it? That indicates how good your sacral chakra is doing. And then finally ask yourself, how grounded do I feel in my environment? How grounded do I feel at work, at home, or at play? Because your environment changes and your relationship to these environments change, it's good to ask that question to get a sense of how your root chakra is doing. And as you ask these questions, Where are your tender areas? Those will signal an opportunity for healing in any one of those areas. You may also have noticed where you feel particularly strong and resilient. That's also an important indicator of using, where you're strong and confident. You can actually have that spread, that strength and resiliency spread from that one core chakra all to the other 6. So use that strength. Also help you understand, where did that strength come from? Did something happen in my day that and my reaction to it tell me something about how that chakra bounces back to healing? And you may also receive messages or images or words or other things that come to your mind as you ask these questions, and write them down. They may not seem apparent to you now, but later on, as you look through your journal, you may come to an epiphany based on these questions and your thoughts in relationship to them. So what happens next? So what things should we focus on next to understand how to keep our chakras balanced and healthy? Well, I wanted to include 7 meditation techniques to include here. So one is walking in nature, and we're going to actually walk through that now. And so one way to do that, as you walk, breathe in colors and breathe in the colors of those chakras. So we're going to walk you through that in just a couple of minutes, because it's important to remember that nature has all of the tools we need to stay in balance and healthy and feeling grounded, and all of those things are super important. So as you walk in nature, we'll walk through this breathing in colors. So you breathe in the colors of each chakra, and your breath changes as it brings in those colors, and you'll notice where each chakra then feels like it's almost getting filtered in with healthy and cleaning energy. So as you walk, you can breathe in, for example, sparkling purplish white divine energy deep into your crown chakra. And as it cascades into your crown, it travels down into your third eye and turns a deep indigo blue. And each breath you take takes in more divine energy. And now, as it travels into your throat chakra, it fills with blue light. Each step opens your heart, its green reflecting the green of nature's trees, hills, and grasses. And the yellow light of the sun's rays reaches deep inside your solar plexus, fueling you with that inner fire. You imagine rich orange light flowing down into your lower abdomen as you breathe in fresh air. And each breath and step, each one fills your base chakra with deep red light, grounding you with that divine energy. So that's an example of a walking in nature meditation, using the colors of each chakra to balance all of your overall energetic system. And you can spend more time in each color. You can spend more time with each chakra, depending on how you feel. This was just an example. And there are 7 techniques we wanted to include for this, since we have 7 chakras. So another one is chanting mantras. Those mantras have a specific energy frequency, as well as Sanskrit meaning, and you can use those to tune each one of those chakras according to each one of those meanings and significance. Affirmations is another great example. For example, if you know you're having a trouble with your throat chakra, you can say an affirmation of, I speak the truth, I am the truth. And I speak freely my authenticity. And so you just use these affirmations for each one of your chakras that resonate. We also have examples of self-hypnosis techniques on our blog, so find out more information there. And I also offer remote Reiki, hypnotherapy, and EFT sessions, which also can help balance, that are targeted to each specific area and situation. And sound healing is another profound technique for chakra balancing. Each one of our chakras is actually assigned and attuned to a specific hertz frequency, sound frequency, and key and musical note. And so you can use that information to help balance your chakras as well and target specific areas for healing. Each chakra, as I mentioned, is attuned to a specific sound frequency and musical note. For example, the C is the key for the root chakra. And energy from our traumas and emotional experiences attached to specific chakras actually based on how old we were at the time it happened. So root chakra issues tend to form at ages, very young, you can imagine, from the time of birth to 7 years old, and it goes on up. So check out some resources about that. And crystals, as you can imagine, very powerful healing tools. They're associated with specific chakras for targeted healing. Hematite, very, very grounding crystal, perfect for our root chakra. And so I wanted to include those cool facts, and I'm sure there's even more. So comment on others in my blog so that I can highlight those for the next time I talk about chakras. And some more information, you can check out these resources, and I'll include these slides on my blog post as well, so you can download them, check them out. There's just a rich resources of information about chakras. Just a reminder here, it's Stay Tuned Energy Healing. We believe all healing is self-healing. And please contact us if you'd like more information or would like to schedule an online session today. Thanks so much.